People all over the planet are seeking answers for fundamental questions such as, why are we here? What is the purpose of our lives? Why does our life unfold this way? Is there an invisible intelligence governing our fates? In times such as this, Ekam Enlightenment Festival is a step towards helping seekers bring about a shift in their consciousness. It is to celebrate the spirit of the greatest evolution in consciousness that Preethaji and Krishnaji extended their invitation to passionate seekers of the world to come to Ekam for 7 days to celebrate Ekam Enlightenment Festival in December 2018. Ekam is a mystic powerhouse that has been built to impact human consciousness.
After the birth of civilizations, until recently, humanity traveled far distances for one single purpose: holy pilgrimages. Humanity has sought for special vortices of power, spaces that are out of the ordinary, sacred spaces that have a mystic impact on our consciousness. That is why Machu Picchu, the pyramids, and some of the sacred temples. Entering these special places and meditating and praying here has opened up experiences of the transcendental. These energy vortices are rarely found on earth. Unfortunately, many of them are corrupted by noisy human activity. Only a few still remain. Ekam belongs to the genre of the rarest of the rare energy vortices. It is an uncommon mystic phenomenon. Ekam may appear like a magnificent physical structure made of marble to the outsider's common eye. But to those who step into it with calm, Ekam is a field of divine power. It is alive with transcendent radiance. Sitting still in Ekam has a powerful impact on the brain. For many, the impact is instantaneous. For some, it takes a few minutes, but for most, it is less than a week. Ekam silences the default network of your brain. A transcendental reality gets unveiled. They experience enlightened states of consciousness.
And I wanted to share with you an experience here in Ekam, in this sacred place. We were equilibrating and activating the Manipura chakra, and the chakra is related to the fear, and when that became activated, it opened, wide open, into confidence, into freedom, into love, and that for me was an impacting experience. Being as doctor, when I am in the regular practice, I am really in control, dominating from fear. So having this expansion of consciousness, it made me in a serene joy, calm, able to confront and be attentive in the real world.
Many report seeing and conversing with their ancestors and dissolving problems that have clung to them for generations. For most, their personal divine becomes more real than ever has been in their lives. Their divine becomes a reality. Their heartfelt intentions manifest into realities. Their bodies enter a healing zone. Their hearts are healed of long-held wounds, and relationships acquire a rare depth. Problems dissolve, incomprehensible coincidences surface.
As part of the 7-day Ekam Enlightenment Festival, each day is epic in content and immersive in experiencing the transcendental. Drawing from the profound wisdom of Krishnaji and Preethaji, and mystic meditations with them, seekers experienced expanded states of consciousness. Each day culminated with joyous celebrations accompanied with live music as a finale.
You are under the forces of three powers. 1. Ekam, the mystic powerhouse. 2. The golden orb, the greatest phenomenon of the divine. 3. The limitless field, entering the limitless field with Krishnaji.
On day 1, Krishnaji established the importance of living in an enlightened consciousness in everyday life and a special sankalpa that seekers took with Krishnaji and Preethaji.
Today, we have seekers from 60 different countries as one humanity towards this pursuit of enlightenment and experiencing enlightened states of consciousness. Enlightenment is a state that has always existed. If you want your life's problems to go away, if you want to find solutions for your problems, if you want your desires to be fulfilled, then your consciousness must be impacted and awakened to enlightened experiences. Enlightenment needs to start from the age of 12 or 13. So that is what we need to start delivering to the next generation if we want this world to become a better place.
Day 2 dwelt upon the enlightened state of witness or Sakshi Bhava.
If you look at your life and if you start observing, you will see that most of the time you are constantly comparing. That comparison is so deeply rooted in your mind that you compare with your own family, you compare with your own children, you compare with your parents, you compare with your husband, your wife, your friends. Constant comparison because the mind is finding comparison as its way to survive. The only way the mind survives and feels good about itself is when it can feel that it's better than someone else.
As part of the journey, all participants trekked and meditated in special energy zones in the sacred hills that insulated them from the din and chaos of the external world.
In the process, I saw how much attached I was to my mind, and I could witness that. I can never say that my mind had stopped. No, my mind hasn't stopped. Still commenting, but I was not limited to the mind. So there was no suffering because I was not that. I was not my mind. It was complete freedom. I thought freedom till now was when I was given some money and go buy whatever you want. I thought that was freedom. But no, this was complete freedom.
Day 3 was awakening to the enlightened state of bliss or ananda, a state of causeless joy.
Ananda is different from pleasure. It is not pleasure. Pleasure is something that arises when you feel that you are more significant. Pleasure is something that arises when you feel that you are more loved in your family, more loved than the other. But Ananda is a state of bliss pouring into your consciousness from all sides. It is an enlightened state of consciousness.
We were doing this process, and during this process, I had the most incredible experience of being in touch with the joy and also sorrow. And I was in touch with pain and ecstasy in the same moment. And the thing was, it was so beautiful. It was just an opportunity for me to witness what actually was going on without having an attachment to it being good or to it being bad, simply that it was. And I became incredibly expanded, and I became incredibly light, and it was like I could experience my physical body as well as all the other levels of my being. I am so very, very grateful to be here.
On day 4, Ekam reverberated with the experience of true nature of the self as Tattvamasi. You are that, a state of non-dual consciousness.
When you awaken to that aspect of your consciousness, or when you awaken to that state in your consciousness, Tattvamasi, you move away from the limited mind into experiencing limitlessness and into experiencing immense power.
And for every process that we have done here, I have seen more and more of the mind. During the Tattvamasi process, the mind came from all directions. It was like an invasion. And I just stayed with it. And pretty soon, it was like it faded off into the distance. And all that was left was this stillness. It was emptiness, but it was fullness. It was wholeness. There were no compartments, no comparisons, no sorting, no labels, no judgment. In Tattvamasi, I saw whatever you bring there with focus, you will receive the solution. Whatever need, whatever issue, whatever problem, if you bring it there with focus, the solution will rise up.
On day 5, Krishnaji and Preethaji led seekers into the experience of Mahakaruna, or great compassion.
The whole world is in this deep problem. This problem of not belonging. This problem of not feeling loved. So the solution is when you can actually feel this great compassion. Then there's absolutely no suffering at all. There is a war that's going on within you. I don't know what war you are expecting to happen. Become aware of the war. And with this war, you are destroying your family, you are destroying your friendships, you are destroying your businesses, you are destroying everything. You're destroying nature, everything. The only way this war can end is by making sure that our consciousness must be largely impacted and imprinted with this great compassion state.
Meditating into the early hours of the morning next day, seekers experienced an immense opening of their hearts to love and compassion.
Each day was different. For me, the key to all of these states was Tattvamasi. Yes, Tattvamasi. And it was the gate to Mahakaruna.
On day 6, Krishnaji and Preethaji led the seekers into the unfathomable experience of cosmic consciousness, the state of oneness with the universe, Aham Brahmasmi. On the last day, Krishnaji and Preethaji guided the seekers to internalize these profound states into everyday living.
In this coming together, in the spirit of enlightenment, we become individuals capable of perpetuating unity, perpetuating harmony, and an experience where there is no division. And that is why we are together in the sacred ground, Ekam, the one without any division. The glimpse of enlightenment, the spirit of enlightenment that you have experienced over the past 7 days, that has brought us all together, is not only for transforming your experience of life, but it is for you to transform the world around you and to transform several generations that is to come. We want you to be together in this vision of enlightenment. Be the vehicles of this vision, carry it forward into the world. Be a vehicle which can perpetuate togetherness and harmony and not division.
experienced, during the festival with all the beautiful states, mainly during the limited field meditation, I felt something was happening in my head, like where I felt strong burning in the middle of my head. And after that, I noticed that I experienced life differently. Going back home, interacting with people, I can see a much more easy connection with people where I don't feel sensitive for others or what other people say or do, and I feel always very centered in my being, and so I'm much more relaxed in relationships.
Yesterday at the Mukti Upasana meditation, the last one in the day, was beautiful. I had experiences all day long, but that one was beautiful. I don't have words to describe. And it was like we were doing the meditations, and then when we had, that movement that we did, like going in Namaste like this, and going with the hands like this, my Sahasrara came out, and in front of me, very bright, violet, beautiful, and from my third eye, it expanded waves of light, it's a golden light, forming a beautiful golden orb. And as I did like this, this orb was just engulfing me. And I would go inside and float in the air. It was amazing, it was beautiful. And I felt so completely overwhelmed. I wish every one of you could come and experience all these beautiful states, this sacred space in your heart opening for these experiences here at Ekam.
Let us now connect to the transcendental power of Ekam by chanting the incredibly powerful Ekam mantra, Hamsa Soham Ekam. As we chant this mantra, you will draw from the power of the divine to bestow your life with immense blessings. Please hold an intention that the divine should shower upon you great blessings. Let us now move into the future, into what will unfold in the year 2019.
Ekam Abundance Festival is a gift like no other in the world. It is entering into the world of miraculous. It is an everyday awakening into the magical and transcendental. Most people live with scarcity mindset than abundance consciousness, with a sense of void than fullness. Their crisis is a compassionate reminder from the universe urging them towards a fundamental shift in consciousness from lack to prosperity. Most people suffer a lack because their consciousness is filled with accumulated poisons of generations of limiting ancestral samskaras, limiting beliefs, and ideas drawn from collective human memory of millennia. Along with these forces, in the deepest layers of consciousness, your own destructive decisions and actions and their limiting karmic consequences, and finally your suffering states push you into a downward spiral of chaos and problems. These poisons are making you draw chaos, obstacles, and misfortune into your life. If we looked at abundance in our lives as a giant wheel, it has 28 spokes that need to be aligned with the fulcrum and the rim. At the Ekam Abundance Festival, Preethaji and I would be purifying 28 poisons from your consciousness and leading you on a journey where you will receive 28 treasures from universal intelligence. With this powerful 28-day journey at Ekam, your brain will get reprogrammed to abundance. Your misfortune will turn to fortune. Your life will move into unprecedented creativity and prosperity. You will experience a shift in every aspect of your life. Your consciousness will become like an antenna that will draw from the riches of the universe.
5 days ఏకమ్ ప్రాసెస్ కోసం అటెండ్ అయినాక ఇంటికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత వితిన్ 15 to 20 days చాలా చేంజ్ వచ్చిందన్నమాట. ఎట్లా అంటే 2 years బ్యాక్ 1 crore పెట్టి ల్యాండ్ తీసుకున్నాను అనమాట. ఎప్పుడైతే ప్రైస్ హైక్ అవుతుందో అప్పుడు ల్యాండ్ సెల్ చేసేద్దామని చెప్పి వెయిటింగ్ లాస్ట్ 2 years నుంచి. సో మ్యాక్సిమం ల్యాండ్ ప్రైస్ వచ్చేసి 1.5 crore వరకు వెళ్ళింది. సో దాని బియాండ్ వెళ్ళట్లేదు. సో అప్పటికి కూడా ఇంకా సేల్ ఆఫ్ చేసేద్దామని అనుకున్నాను. సో ఇక్కడ 5 days ఏకమ్ ప్రాసెస్ కోసం వచ్చినప్పుడు ల్యాండ్ గురించి ట్రై చేశాను మేడం.
If Ekam Abundance Festival feels miraculous, it is because nothing less than a miracle is needed to heal our lives and lead us to abundance. Namaste.